Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And today we're having a big celebration on the set. We are celebrating the 90th birthday of, I would say she's a legend, an icon. Just the list goes on and on.
Old person?
Not really. At least not in my mind. She is Barbara Boyd. Hi, Barbara.
Hey.
Welcome to Inside Indy.
Good to be here.
Man, what an honor to have you here. And I say that because, you know, being in journalism, when you talk to your peers, it makes you nervous.
No, it does.
Yeah, like, am I doing a good job?
We know not each other. You nervous about me? No, I don't think so.
So pleased to have you here. You did just celebrate your 90th.
Yeah, just did, and had a nice big party.
Yeah, tell us about the big bash.
Oh,
I want to know about that.
We had about 300 people, and had full dinner. We served dinner, and we had dancing, and Reed Duffy, as you know, used to be with us at Channel 6, roasted me. And my kids they got up and said something. Brian, Darren, and Karen all said. Now, I thought my kids were going to say something. My mama don't cook. My mama can't cook. But they just gave, glowing reviews about their mama. I guess they had to.
Okay.
But, and then there are several people that have really affected my life over the last however long I've been here. And I gave each one of them one award because, like I mentioned, one of my friends, I'm a link, and there are 5 of us that always sort of are together. We call ourselves the Fab Five, and each one of us, when we started, all of our husbands were living. They all have deceased in this time, so we've just sort of stuck together and support one another. And one girl, when Ted died, calls me every day still. And just, how you doing, what's happening, and each one of us have had some kind of problem, and we're always there for one another. And so they received an award, and
nice.
Good friends of the family have. Tony, my friend, they've just been helpful and to help me this new process in life to go on. And I think, they say, husbands and boyfriends leave you, but friends are always there.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. And
Preach.
So,
Preach. Come on the show, preach today. So take us back when it all started. And of course, you are the first African-American female to anchor news in Indianapolis television. So take us back. What year was that? How did it all
1969.
69.
And it was just a fluke. Luck and timing. I got a phone call that was intended for someone else. And they said, we're looking for someone to, for television. And I said, well, honey, if you're looking for a star, here I are, jokingly. And so he said, well, are you serious? And I said, yeah, what do you want me to do? So they said, just do a little 5 or 6 minute vignette on anything you'd like. Well, I'm office manager of Head Start. I helped open the Head Start program in 1965. Wow. And so they sent out a crew. I did a little walking stand-up. Didn't really know what that was because I seen it on TV. So that happened, and then I had to go on the set like this and at the desk. And so before I go up, I'm sort of standing there. I'm shivering. So I said, "Oh, Miss Boyd, don't be nervous." I said, "Honey, I ain't nervous. It's just cold up in here. It's cold up in the studio. Keep the cameras all cool, right, but they don't keep you." Yeah. And then it came today that I had to go before the big boys. Uh-oh. Now, you got to know I'm not really concerned about this because I don't care whether I get the job. Because I'm making big money. Yeah. I'm making $10,000 a year. What you say? I don't care. So the question goes on. I'm just giving little flip answers. And when February 10th, 1969 rolled around, I had a job. Now, there were 8 African-American women that tried out, including the lady that they initially called. And they, too, were auditioned. And, when that February 10th rolled around, old Barboo had the job.
Barboo. They call you Barboo.
Barboo. I had a lot of names. Barboo, Big Leg Barboo, Barbie. Big Crumb, who I used to work with the Purdue Extension on Art Castles, always going, "Hey, Barbie doll." Oh, Dick, please. Don't call me Barbie doll.
I love it. So, wow. So what was it like back then, though, in '69? You're the first. There's no one else, another female like you on the air. What did that feel like? Were you afraid? And what was were people receptive to it?
It didn't bother me. Number one, I just never thought about I was the only one at the time, you know. But the more I did, when I went out into the community, and people said, "Oh, we're just so proud of you," blah 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 blah, you know. And I'm saying, "Oh, they are." And then it hit me. There was nothing else that I could do other than to be the best that I could be, because people in the community, failing was not an option. It just wasn't. And people in the community, the black community, were depending on me to do well. I was depending on me to do well. My family was depending on me to. I thought I was doing okay. It really didn't bother me. I didn't think about it really until people in the community started saying, "Oh, you know, you're the first," and I'm saying, "Oh, yeah.
I am, yeah,
you know,
because you're representing us.
Yeah, representing. That's right." And you know, I think that any of us that have positions that are normally a white position, and you know as well as I do that you have to work harder for what you get, and you have to work harder to earn respect not only of your colleagues but the people that you're working for and to. And so that was my, after people start saying things,
Plus, you're one of the few women on the air. I actually have some old VHS tape of a news story that I captured back in the day, and it's Channel 13, and it's all men across the anchor desk. And it must have been, it was the King Bell murders. I don't know if you remember that case, but that was maybe, 78? And it's a lot, there haven't been a lot of women, let alone an African-American woman.
Well, I think I was the only woman in the newsroom for a year or two. And then Linda Lupier came on, and that used to be with Channel 8. And then I think Evie Burge was there. Evie Burge was education reporter. And that was it. And then I think at 8, what was her name? Her husband was a doctor. I don't know. But I think she was like one of the first women in television, period. And, you go about and you do what you got to do. I remember, as Bob said, at our station, at Channel 6, many of us had beats. We were called franchise reporters, and you were responsible for your segment. And I was a consumer reporter. So Bob Gamble, who was the news director at the time, said, "I want you to take the consumer, do a consumer story." I said, "Okay." So I went out and did a consumer story. Every morning we have what you call a story conference. And it always amazed me. And, after I got there, Monday morning, where did everybody get the idea to do a story? I'm trying to say, they just got here. How do they know what to do? So I figured out, you had to do, get your stories together Friday,
Right,
and stuff.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And so Bob said, "You got your story, Bob?" I said, "Well, I did want." He said, "No, baby, that's your beat." So I had to go about trying to build that up, and boy, it wasn't hard when people know what you do. They call you, And I don't know anybody yet that doesn't want to be on television. I've been places where black folk don't even go. Yeah, they want to be on television.
Yeah,
I don't care what color you be.
That's true. That's true.
But I remember the first news conference I went to. Passed me by with the release, gave it to the white photographer.
Oh,
I said, "Hey, buddy, here."
I'm the one. Okay.
And so when people in the field, when the police begin to know who you are, when people at agencies begin to know who you are, the problem sort of smooths out.
And not only who you are, but the power you have. I don't think people really understand. Yeah.
You don't know how people hold on to your words. And the one thing that Bob Gamble insisted upon is to be accurate and be ethical. Because people hold on to every word you say. Words are powerful.
Very
and if you're a respected person, Howard Caldwell, one of the most respected men here in journalism. If Howard Caldwell said it, it's right.
Must be so.
That's right, And that's nationally, too. So when Barbara Boyd said so-and-so on a Consumer Report, it must have been right.
Right.
Because I had reached the level where people began to
trust you.
To trust.
Trust. Yeah.
So and that's important, to build up trust. And another thing, I think anybody that works on there they have to be very careful about how they conduct themselves in public. People look at you, you know. People say to today, why are you going out all dressed up? There's a certain way people look at you,
Right.
you know. And so I'll still carry on, you know. I don't go out looking like a hag.
Right, you go out like you're getting ready to anchor the news, huh?
But I mean, it's a perception that people have about you that they hold.
Which is why I always loved radio. Because that whole thing of having to be on all the time, and in radio you can come in the jeans, which I know you guys have half jeans on the desk, you know, but we could have the T-shirt on at the top and
But that
pull
was
your
never
hair
a
back in a
problem for me
ponytail.
because I always dressed well.
Okay. No, I know you are quite the fashion plate. So
No, not that.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know, we didn't have a lot of money or anything, but I was always clean. And teacher asked me one day, "How you get to be so young? You got a little starch dress on every day." I'm clean every day. That's my mama said. You be clean every day. You ain't got nothing else. We gonna please be clean every day. You know.
There you go. There you go.
You know.
You mentioned the videographer or the photographer, which you probably called him back then, handed because you were doing film, right?
Yes, in film.
Yeah, because we filmed the video, now digital. He bypassed you and passed it on. And we're going to have to take a break. But when we come back and we talk a little bit more about your journey, and did you ever face blatant discrimination during your career?
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about that and more with Barbara Boyd when we come back. And we're back here on Inside Indy, and we're having a one-on-one chat with Barbara Boyd, the first African-American female on the news here in Indianapolis on television. Barbara, we had left the last segment talking about discrimination. And did you face much of that? Because you started in 1969, so it was obviously a different day and a different time.
Well, other than the fact that, you know, that first event when I went to my first news conference and he handed the news release to the white photographer and passed me up. And I think one other time, this was really good, went on a murder. We'd all been on assignment somewhere else and we got the word to go to a murder on the avenue. And the policeman on the beat didn't know me. He said, "You can't come in here." And I don't think it was because I was black. I just think he thought I was just a woman
Trying to get in there, right? Because most of us cannot walk on the scene of a homicide.
So we were coming into the story, you know.
Right.
And but I tell you who was with me. He used to work for the recorder, Snoopy or Snippy. I don't remember his name, but everybody knew him. He said, "She's with me. That's all right." I'm a photographer, and I just followed him right on in.
Okay.
And I think this is very funny. We were out again on a story, and there was a pea shake house on College. So they sent us there for, I guess they had a shake-up or something. And this is what, again, about perception. So I said to the cop, "What's a pea shake?" What's it all about? He said, "You know." I said, "No, I don't."
You really didn't know?
No.
Because I had a pea shake story I covered one time.
He said, "Well, come on in, I'll show you." And I said, he says, and then he showed me what it was and how it worked. And so he came on and he said something about the blue book. And again, I said, "What's the blue book?"
Okay.
And again, he said, "You know what that is?" So this black guy said, he says, "Jimmy, come over here, show me your blue book." He said, "Blue book? What blue book? What would you know?"
Right,
I don't know the blue book.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's just, the perception was because I'm black, I'm supposed to know
You're supposed to know what that, okay, yeah.
is. But I didn't.
Yeah, okay, no, that's good.
That's all right.
That's good to hear.
I'm not cool anyway. Derek Thomas came in one day and he was talking to some other people in the office talking about wolf tickets. And they said, "What's a wolf ticket?" He said, "Well, Barbara will tell you what a wolf ticket is. Tell them what a wolf ticket is, but wolf ticket was a wolf ticket."
I don't know.
Well, don't, Barbara.
But see, then we assume you guys know it all. So that just tells you, too, that, you can get thrown off sometimes. You have to do your research. And what I love is that you got there and you still worked through it, Yeah. Yeah. And you laughed about it pretty
Yeah, we
much.
did.
Yeah.
Those are the only three things that I can really call it. But I really never had a problem. I didn't allow myself to have a problem. I went on and did what I had to do. It's your problem, not mine. If you
Right,
had a problem with me.
I love your attitude. The story about that you did about yourself and your journey and your battle with breast cancer. So what year was that? Because of course I still have that vividly in my mind.
I think it was 71 or 72.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think it's been 47 years. So
you're a 47 year survivor.
Yeah.
And that's why I wore my scarf today. You said it was not pink, but if you look closely,
I see the pink.
Yeah, there's the pink lady. So I take it one in every 8 women are survivors or something.
Yeah. Used to be 1 in 5. Used to be 1 in 5 when I was, Well, I went to 3 people. I went to the station doctor. I went to a regular, my OB/GYN guy, and I went to the guy that finally did the operation. And I remember the day I went in, and I went to the doctor, and he says, "Yeah, I think something's there." And I was on my lunch hour. And I tried to be strong coming back, singing to myself, quiver, trying to be all strong and everything. And so I had, the doctor told me, he says, "Well, we're not quite sure whether, we're going to take some tests." And so, yeah, it was malignant. And so this is what my doctor did that even the nurses didn't know. When I came after the operation, or what I thought was the operation, I came into the room and the nurse says, "Well, looks like you're out of the woods." I said, "Oh, half does. Yeah, thank you." So then the doctor came in and he says, "Well, Barbara, we're going to have the operation Wednesday." I said, "Well, what did you do in there?" He says, "Well, I always book a smaller room, operating room first to make sure it's what I really think it is." And so later on, I said a couple of days later, we went on and in. But he had a hard time getting me in there. He said, when they first told me about it, he said, "Well, we're going to do it on so-and-so date." I said, "Well, I'm going to be out of town on assignment, and when I come back, I'm going to Chicago to a party, and, like, I don't have time for this."
Right.
We're going to do it on a Wednesday, so.
Oh.
But I was taking it very lightly, I wasn't trying to stress about it, but I think I was just trying to push it back. I didn't want to be afraid, I didn't want to think that I'd die, though some people saw.
Because you'd just gotten the job.
That's right. That's
6, right?
I told my husband, I said, "I don't have time for this now." I said, "I just got this job. I have to do well, That's how I'm looking at it. I ain't gonna die now.
I got first black anger woman. I don't think I'm dying. And I think that's part of it, though, the positive attitude. I mean, you did not let it...
Well, there's so many things that happen to you that cause you to be the way you are. Okay, let me tell you what's been going on in my life and who helped me through all of this. Number 1, I had the breast cancer. Then our house blew up. We lost everything.
I remember that.
And then I had a perforated colon, diverticulitis, vertigo, lower bowel obstruction. Oh, the list goes on. And I got to tell you, there's some reason the Lord still allows me to be here. In adversity, some good things can come. I had breast cancer. Now, that was bad. But from that, I traveled all around the country. I did other stories on breast cancer, or making women aware of the importance of breast cancer, self-breast examination and early detection. Went all around the country talking on radio and television. Even met Betty Ford. And my intro to her was, "Hey, bosom buddy." She cracked up. We had a ball with that. And then my house blew up. Okay, now that was bad, but the good thing about it, we were out of that house 15 minutes before it blew.
Are you kidding?
We stayed in a hotel, and from that, I think we bonded a little more with our kids. At home, you're working, get food, and then go get your homework, But we were a little closer and got together a little more. And so, from adversity, some good things can come. And so I have had all those adversities, and the Lord has seen fit for me to stay here. And I hope He's not finished with me, because I got things I think I want to do.
Oh, I can tell you do. Wow. I mean, it's just amazing. And, I've known you for some time, and to me, you're the same as you were when I met you probably I don't know, was that 30, 40, 30 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
What year did you come off Channel 6? 'Cause-
94.
so it was right before that. That's when I first met you.
I'm still
Yeah.
the same. I'm just
Yeah.
boobless on one boob.
And I've seen her wear high heels this high. I just want you to know this. I
Short people wear high heels. Now I'm telling you.
Short, tall, whatever. I can't wear them, and it's amazing. And then she wobbles. Okay.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
you
I
were
love the
wobbling
dance,
at a
period.
birthday party that we had this past holiday season. Yeah, we have some video of that, so I'm gonna try to find that so we can run that under this interview. She's in there, wobble baby, wobble baby. I'm like,
I love to dance.
yeah, you Zumba?
I Zumba. Yeah, and I think that people say, what's your secret to living this long? Number one, my mother was 103. She wore high heels till she died.
Wow.
And sound of mile. He said, "How you doing, Miss Andre?" She said, "I know who I am and I know where I am." So, and always a positive attitude, and and I just tried to follow her in her footsteps. Matter of fact, I had a little talk with the Lord, and asked him for 104 years. I want to be one up on my mom.
Wow, wow. And we can go past that, so you might be underestimating
living
there.
longer,
Yeah.
I just did MC the birthday party for a lady that's 109 years old. Wow. Lives alone, does her own cooking.
Wow.
Aunt Bernice.
Because it's not just aging, it's the quality of life. And you were just amazing. I mean, and in my mind, I try to put it in my brain like, this is how old she is, but I've never really gone to where what your true age is. I've just always known you. It's like you're like Dick Clark. You just stay. Of course, my niece the other day was like, "Who's Dick Clark?" She didn't even remember Dick Clark. So anyway,
or like, what's a typewriter?
yeah, there you go. So now, what is the secret to your longevity? I mean, tell us about like what an average day is for you. Exercise. What do you eat? Is that
Everything.
a part of it? For real? What do you eat?
For real. Anything, ribs, chicken, fried foods, grease, sweet potatoes, macaroni.
We were talking off the air about organics. I was thinking, she must have an organic diet.
Organic's too expensive.
Well, there's that.
Banana's a banana, organic or not.
Yeah.
I don't buy organic food. No, I just, my mother always had 3 things on the plate.
Okay.
We had a vegetable, a starch, and a meat, and a dessert. It was always Jell-O with whipped cream on the top. And I always try to have 3 things on a plate when I cook. But I don't do anything special, I don't go out of the way. My daughter's a vegan. Now, where she got that,
Karen.
I don't know. Karen, she's been a vegan for over 40 years, 30 years.
Wow.
And I just like to eat good, I try to eat my veggies. I munch on a carrot or 2 now and then, but I don't drink a lot of pop. I like beer.
Okay, I ain't mad at you.
I think the key though is just staying busy, staying active. I'm on several boards. You got to always go to a board meeting. I do Zumba, dance, walk every once in a while. But and just staying positive, about things. And negativity. I try not to even be around negative people. You start talking stuff to me, I don't want to hear it. Go somewhere else and do that dirt somewhere else. Just staying positive is it, and staying busy. I think staying busy is the key. Something. Always have a project.
Okay. And we just got about a minute left. What about coming back to television?
Oh, I like to do voiceovers. Television's too hard anymore. You have to do too much. They don't look like they're having fun to me. And I mean, if you look at it, you've got news at 4 in the morning, noon, 5, 6, 7, 11. Sometimes you have to write for 2 or 3 stories, whatever the producer wants. Right. You have to write for the web.
Right, there is a lot, yeah. When I worked in radio, I was like, I got to do the website too.
And then they want reporters to write, edit, and shoot.
Or they want the video. Yeah, the videographer is now taking the reporter's job.
So,
well, it's been a treat having you here and just talking to you and learning about you and stealing all your secrets from you. Because I'm telling you, I actually think about you sometimes. I go, man, I hope I make it that far.
And I made it.
I kind of like when I grow up, and I know I'm already growing up, I want to be just like Barbara.
Oh, shut up.
Thank you, Barbara, and I'm gonna let you close the show because you've been doing this for quite some time now, longer than me. So do your thing.
All right, here we go. Hey, you all have a great day and stay on top of the world.